everybody. Good Okuma Wednesday to everyone. We're here with my good buddy Dave Brown talking all the phenomenal products that Okuma has to offer. We got so much cool stuff to talk about, Dave Brown. You and I have been working with this company for quite a while. You a little bit longer than me. You got so much cool product over there, though. It's not, guys, there's a lot of people go, oh, Okuma back in the 20 years ago. It's not that anymore, gang. This is as good as it is, better than anything else out there on the market that I have fished with. The reliability, the amount of fish Todd Manser and myself put through these reels. I don't know if any other product could stand up like this, the abuse that Todd and I do to these reels.
Yeah, it's definitely a different company than it used to be. I've been here for 18 years now, and when I was on the sales side, I'd walk into a booth around the country and people are like, oh, sorry, wrong booth. And they'd walk right back out. But now people come in and they just want to embrace you, which is great. It's, all that stuff that John Bretz has been working on putting out there over the last, 15 years or so. It's just really turned the company around.
And you could tell when we were at ICAST, my goodness, there was not very often you could see any carpet in the booth.
It was crowded. I mean, it was an incredible year at ICAST out there. We had a great booth location right there by the front doors, and just the amount of people that wanted to stop to talk to you, talk to some of our other partners like Coastal Worldwide over on the East Coast, and some of our other good land-based shark guys. I mean, it was incredible, and just talking new product. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the best years we've ever had out there.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was hard to get close to you or to John because you guys were buried with so many people that just wanted to touch and feel the new products.
As soon as either John or I stand up, you get roped into doing a video somewhere, so it was good.
Yeah, it was really cool, and the amount of new products just is absolutely amazing, Dave. How you guys come out with new products every year. It just is amazing how you guys can come up with all these innovations and all these new ideas and all these, you cover everything. And now this land-based shark thing with Coastal Worldwide and what you guys are doing with them, and then seeing people get drug around with those Machiras on the beach, that's pretty badass.
Those guys are nuts. It's funny working with John Bretz downstairs there. He's like a mad scientist when it comes to the product development. He's got his head down, he's got his notepads out, and he's listening to the anglers and listening to what these folks want. What's the hot trend right now? What are our competitors doing? But, a lot of it is, I manage all the social media, so a lot of comments will come through, or questions or just suggestions people have. We can put all that stuff together, and we're still a small enough company where we can react to a lot of that. We can make the changes we need to make. We can come out with the product. That land-based shark piece is a great example. That was, it was something that's crazily popular in certain areas, not out here in Southern California, not in some of the East Coast, but down there, like through Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. It's just so crazy popular. And, we were able to react to that and take those Machiras that are already bulletproof and even make them more so and dial them in specifically for that land-based shark fishery. It's cool.
Oh, it's super cool. I want to show you guys what this reel we're talking about right now. Look at this. Dave Brown showing this off. Check this out.
Hey guys, the new land-based shark reel has been awesome. This came out just a year ago, and it comes in a 50 wide as well as an 80. Now the land-based shark fishing reel is pretty unique to the land-based shark fishery. There's some really great upgrades to the standard Machiras reels. The first one, you're going to have a 125 millimeter handle. What that's going to do is that's going to give you a lot more torque when you're really cranking in on those big fish. As I mentioned, there's a 50 wide as well as an 80, and for this year, 2025, we're actually going to introduce the 80 wide. So you have that large 80 size diameter, and it's just going to be a little bit wider, and you're going to have that crossbar on there as well. One of the other really unique features on the upgrades for the land-based shark reel versus the regular Machira is we actually upgraded the pin system that runs all the way across. The shaft that's right in that big T-bar handle is actually stainless steel versus aluminum. So quite a bit stronger when you're really cranking on those big fish. Most of the land-based shark guys down in southern, like in Texas and everywhere else, they actually have that thing planted right on the top of their truck, and they're just really cranking on those things. So a lot of torque and a lot of pressure on those handles, so that stainless steel pin shaft system is really going to keep it in place. Other than that, completely murdered out. It's all black. This thing is awesome. It's fire. Plus you got that really cool etching of that hammerhead on the side. Once again, you're talking about a 50 wide, a standard 80, and then for 2025, we're going to be doing that 80 wide as well. Awesome. Really cool reels.
Yeah, super, super incredible, super sexy reel. And like you said, guys have it mounted on their back of their truck, and they're just grinding those sharks up. It's pretty amazing how you guys put that together. And like you said, John Bretza and the whole crew over at Okuma, you guys are more than willing to listen to the fishermen and see what people are looking for. Most companies, gang, they're already set. They're going to do what they're going to do. It doesn't matter what you like or what you want. As we watch the evolution of Okuma, and as Todd and I got to be a part of all the things that happened, we were just blown away when we would talk about things, and then all of a sudden, Dave Brown's all, look, here it is. And you're like, no way, you guys did it? Wow, how cool is that? Pretty neat company. Pretty spectacular.
It's a lot of fun. It's a fun place to work. It's one of those ones where it's a job, but man, it's a lot of fun. The perks that you get to go do and the people you get to talk to. I can talk fishing all day long, but you end up at a PCS show and you just talk fishing. That particular clip you just showed, that was from the New Jersey Saltwater Expo, and they're really starting to get into that land-based shark fishing up and down that East Coast as well. And people wanted to come up and they wanted to put their hands on that shark reel. They've seen it, they've heard about it, and they just love it.
I just had that, not trying to throw you on the spot or not, but he just asking a question. This is the really cool thing about Okuma, gang, as far as taking care of the customer after you buy the product. That's second to none. When you come in there and you get to see what's going on or mail it in, Dave. So can we help this guy?
Two ways to do this here. You can either call directly 1-800-GO-OKUMA. That's the phone number. When you get on there, just look for the customer service. It'll probably give you a couple prompts on the phone, and you can directly write to those guys. Or shoot an email to customercare@okumafishingusa.com. Either one of those two, the customer team will get right back to you. They're all right downstairs here from me, and they're very reactive, and they'll get you squared away on that. If we have those parts in stock, they'll get it out to you probably the next day.
See, so that's why I wanted to throw that up there. Customer service, second to none. They're all over it. They have a team of people that are going to make sure they get you what you need. And they're also going to tell you if they have the part or not. They're going to let you know if it's back ordered, whatever, which is pretty spectacular. Instead of saying, yeah, we'll take care of it. And then you call 3 weeks later and they're like, who? What?
Yeah, exactly.
They got you covered. You know what, Dave Brown? I didn't even tell you when I saw you at ICAST. When I was in Alaska, I got on a float plane to fly out of there, and I had this shirt on. And the guy asked me, he goes, do you know Dave Brown?
Nice.
Huh? He goes, yeah, Dave Brown and I, we fished together all over the place. And I'm like, no way. What a small world.
That's funny.
I'm looking for his name on my phone. He's a really cool pilot. Flies that float plane like, oh my gosh, like guys who drive race cars. It's pretty incredible.
That is pretty cool.
Once he saw the shirt, he took us on a little tour as we flew out of there instead of straight lining it.
Did he do a barrel roll for you or anything?
No, thank you. No, I was white knuckled hanging on to the side of the plane.
Yeah, for sure.
He kept looking at me going, it's okay. It's okay. I go, yeah, I know. I'm fine. This is cool. I'm just hanging on for the whole 20-minute ride.
That's funny. Real quick to get back to that land-based shark fishing. So we go out and we sponsor an event called Sharkathon. It's out in Corpus Christi every year. It happens in October. It's a catch and release tournament for sharks, hammerheads, spinners. I mean, whatever they got down there, black tips. And it's by length. So your total length of all of your sharks at the end of that week. And it's something that we sponsor. We drive up and down the beach. We give out a bunch of swag. It's a lot of fun. But I went to it last year, and it was the first year I had attended that thing. These guys are nuts. You talk about some hardcore fishermen. Their rigs are completely rigged out. They've got these giant racks on the top of the truck where they got all these rods. They might have 12 rods. And then 100 yards down each side of the beach, they'll have spinners set up to catch bait and everything else. But the way they do that is for that particular event, you can't drone your bait out. You either have to swim it out or you have to kayak your bait out. So these guys will hop into the kayak. They'll put their bait. They kayak it out a quarter mile, drop it off, and then they come on back. So when you're looking at this spread, they might have 12 rods across the top of their truck. Baits are out a quarter of a mile. And in between all that, little kids swimming, in between all those rods, there's little kids, there's bait, bloody, all out there and nasty, and little kids just swimming, having fun, having a great old time. And until there's a hookup, until they hear one of those drags go off, all the kids scatter, come back to the beach because they want to see these giant sharks, and it's really cool. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, buddy.
It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, Jeff's just talking about he's going to get one of those new Tesoro jigging reels. The reel is an incredible product. You're going to be super happy with that, Jeff.
They're pretty phenomenal.
Yes. Well, you know what? He rolled us right in. Let's check out this reel we're talking about right now, and then Dave Brown can talk about that. And then we have a really cool spinning reel we want to turn you all on to. But check this Tesoro lever drag slow pitch jigging reel. This pretty incredible product. We were highlighting it last month on our show. Check this thing out.
Hey guys, this is John Bretz with Okuma Fishing Tackle. What we have here is a purpose-built jigging reel, the new Tesoro 2000. This is going to come in right and left hand, and it's going to be introduced for the 2026 tackle season. What's amazing about this reel is that the body, the side plates, it's all full machine cut aluminum, 6061 T6 aluminum. You'll notice the frames actually cuts out so you actually have more access to the spool. So a really nice high-end feature there. The other thing you'll notice is that it's got a massive gearbox. It houses a 5.5 to 1 gear ratio that gets you 39.4 inches of line pickup with every turn of the handle. But that massive gearbox features all stainless steel gears. So the main gear and the pinion gear are going to be heavy duty stainless steel oversized gears. The other thing that's nice about this reel is that because it's built specifically for jigging, is that it's got an extremely long handle with that offset T-bar. Now with this handle, you can adjust it to two different positions. You can either have a 98 millimeter or 110 millimeter length that you can adjust on your own. So a really nice feature depending on your application. Now this is a narrow reel, again, built specifically for braided line for guys jigging. So it holds 490 yards of 50-pound braid. You do have line indicators on there so that you know where you're at. If you got a big fish or how deep you are, you know precisely where your line's at. The amazing thing with this reel is the drag system. It features a dual force drag, which is a carbonite drag system, but this is different than what you've seen on the McCartys in the past. This drag has drag washers on both sides of the spool, so you get even pressure on the spool. The advantage there is it helps reduce turning force. So when you turn that handle under heavy drag, you're not going to feel that tension. In addition to that, one of the things that amazes me with this reel is that it features a triple anti-reverse. That's right, triple anti-reverse. So it features 9 high-performance stainless steel ball bearings, but then it has 2 quick set anti-reverse ball bearings that give you that instant stopping power. But in addition to that, the double stacked anti-reverse bearings, you have a mechanical backup system in place. So if for some reason something was ever to happen to the quick set anti-reverse bearing, you do have that backup in place. So just a ton of features and functionality in this reel. But again, with this reel being purpose built, what we did is we put a spool lock system in here. So on the palm side of the reel, you'll actually see it looks like a clicker button. That's not a clicker button. What that does is that when you're jigging over a reef, a rocky structure, if you get your jig hung up, and of course you're fishing braided line with a little bit of a leader, you want to be able to bust that jig out or bend the hook so that you can get that whole system out. So you spool lock that system by pushing that down and start cranking, and then you're able to actually get that jig out. Any other way, the line's going to totally slip and you're going to have a lot of difficulty breaking out of that structure. The other nice thing about this reel is it's very lightweight. It's going to come in a right and left hand retrieve model, and it's going to be 20.9 ounces. So very light weight construction, even with that machined aluminum build with the stainless steel gears. Now, if you want to find out more information on this new Tesoro jigging reel that's backed by a 3-year warranty, check it out at a retailer near you or on okumafishingusa.com.
Just an absolute incredible machine. I got to use it at the bass tank there at iCast, and I just love that thing. It's such a bitchin' reel. And then the Tesoro 5 series, that's my favorite reel you guys have ever made of all time. That's my very most favorite reel. So then to have that and that size, the Tesoro 5, I'm like, okay, I'm done. You got me.
Yeah. We need to hurry up with the new Star Drag, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's my very most favorite reel that you guys have ever made. Gang, we're sitting here with Dave Brown, if you don't know, from Okuma. If you have any questions at all, we're going to try to answer as many questions as we can as we're kicking back here talking. A lot of the time, it'll be Dave and I just having conversations about the cool products because we're kind of both into this big time fishing. We love to fish. Dave's like me. He has a couple of seconds of extra time. He's out there fishing somewhere. You were just telling me you're going fishing tomorrow at Catalina, right?
Yes, sir. We're going to run out to Catalina, do some fishing. We got a new set of rods we're going to try to get a little bit of content for and hopefully find a couple fishies. I'm going to keep an eye out for that fish report from Your Saltwater Guide and see where we need to go.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, fishing at Catalina has been nothing but insane this whole season. The calico bass still think that it's spawning time. They think it's springtime right now. And there's lots of yellows sprinkled all over front and backside and still catching big log barracuda. And now that 4 or 5 pound bonita is making a guest celebrity appearance. The table's set. You guys should have blast tomorrow. And you guys are going to be checking out the new relaunch of a rod that I absolutely always liked, the Catalina series rods. Those things are really fun to fish with, lightweight, great action. Talk about that for a little bit.
They are, yeah. If you've been a fan of Okuma for a while, you probably might remember the Catalina name in the rods. We had them for several years. We've had Catalina reels, we had Catalina rods. It was just something that was in the lineup for a long time. We actually stopped making those particular rods probably a good 8 years ago at this point. But we're making a comeback. We needed to fill a gap on some rods, and we wanted to make something very Southern California specific. You're going to see them a lot at like the local shows, PCS show when that happens at the beginning of the year. But they're out now. They're in shops. They're awesome reel rods that start at just about that $100 price point. It's boat rods, and there's actually even a couple of rail rods in that lineup as well. Boat rods are going to be right about that $110, and those rail rods are only going to be about $250. They look great. I happen to have one if you want to see one.
Absolutely. And then we'll show you a cool little video about it.
Yeah, let's take a look. So these are just awesome little all-around boat rods. There's going to be 3 7'6" rods in that lineup, and then as well as 2 7'6" rail rods in that lineup too. It's going to be a double extra heavy as well as a triple extra heavy, both $249.99 on that rail rod. Then the boat rods, medium heavy, and heavy, and they're all going to be right about that $110, give or take a couple dollars on each side there. But just nice little components. EVA, you got Fuji reel seats there. Nice rubber at the end there, so it's not sliding around your deck. But just going to be great all-around rods. We're really excited about these. They look great. They're going to match up nicely to just about any reel. If you're throwing a Kavala or an Alejos or even one of those Solterra SLX, they're going to match up nicely on there. And on those rail rods, guys, you can put their McCartys on there. They're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, here, let's check them out.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, this is John Bretz with Okuma Fishing Tackle. What we have here is a new Catalina rod series. This is new saltwater series. We're doing 5 different models, all going to be 7.5 foot lengths. We're going to do a medium heavy, and heavy live bait rod. A lot of versatility with that rod. And we're going to do 2 rail rods, a 2XH and a 3XH model. You'll notice the foregrips are EVA on all of the rods. The rail rods are going to have a shrink tube rear grip with a machined aluminum gimbal. And then when you look at the live bait rods, those will have an EVA with a rubber end cap. As far as a guide configuration goes, we're going to have stainless steel welded guides on the live bait rods. And those will also be bridge guides, so it's extremely durable. This is the type of guide that you want for ultimate durability. And then for the rail rods, we have stainless steel C-guide frames with zirconium inserts. So not only do you have that deep pressed frame design to protect the insert, you also have zirconium, which is going to be optimized for braided line fishing. This is just an incredible rod. The rod blank itself is 24-ton carbon fiber, so it's going to be lightweight and extremely durable. And then we equipped all these rods with our UFR tip technology. That's going to give you over 3 times the lifting power. So if you're in a situation where you don't want a high stick, but you actually have a fish that runs under the boat, it's going to help protect and make that rod that much more durable. As far as the reel seats go on the live bait rods, They're all going to have Fuji reel seats, but depending on the model, it'll either be the DPS Fuji reel seat or the heavy duty graphite Fuji reel seat. So great componentry. When you get to the rail rod, you're gonna have a machined aluminum Okuma reel seat, two-toned anodized. Just looks amazing and give you amazing performance. These are rods that I'd put on my boat and I'd fish on any trip. Amazing new introduction in addition to the Okuma product line, the Catalina rod series. If you want to find out more information, check it out at a retailer near you or on okumafishingusa.com.
Yeah, gang, you can find all that stuff, and we'll throw the QR code up on the screen a little bit later in the show, so it'll take you straight to the website. You can check out all the great products. Why we have Mr. Brown with us today, gang, if you feel like you have a question, you want to know anything about the product, Dave pretty much has a pretty good handle on all the products that are there available at Okuma. You can check it all out at okumafishing.com, but we're going to...
I see real quick, I do see a question that came through from Bob Geis over on YouTube.
Thank
and he
you.
says, question from a novice. He says, what's the difference between a boat rod and a rail rod? And can you tell the difference just by looking at them? And yes, you can. You can tell the difference by looking at them. In general, a rail rod is going to have an elongated foregrip. And a lot of times that's going to go almost all the way up to the first guide. And what the difference between the two rods are is a boat rod is going to be your general all-around rod. This is going to be maybe dropper loop, casting, live bait, whatever you want to do. It's going to be your kind of jack of all trades for just regular fishing. Versus a rail rod. Now the whole design behind that is that elongated foregrip. When you're fishing that rod, you're going to actually, from my cameras, you're going to lay that rod right on the rail. And you're going to let that rod do the work for you after you're hooked up. So if you're catching a big bluefin or yellowfin or however you happen to be fishing for, when you're fighting that fish, you're going to lay that rod right on the rail and you're going to let the action of that rod do the work. When it comes back up, you're going to start grinding back down. When it bends, let that rod pull that fish up, work it back down. So that's pretty much how the rail rod works. And that's what that elongated foregrip is for. That way you can set it right on the rail. You're not going to get along the blank. You're not going to chip the blank. You're not going to, if it's a graphite rod, you're not going to worry about any kind of fracturing or anything like that. And on the regular boat rods, you can also lean it on the rail. That's not exactly what it's for. Under the arm, you're going to be cranking that thing. You can do however else you want to do it. Some guys put it between their legs. You don't want to do that. But that's kind of the difference. And by looking at them, yes, it's going to be an elongated foregrip. This rod here I happen to have in front of me, this is a regular boat rod. So you can see there's a nice little gap there, about 6 inches between the end of the foregrip and that first guide. Now a rail rod, that particular foregrip might run all the way up to almost where that is. And that's just going to give you that extra length to lay it on the rail when you're fighting that fish. Hope that helps.
Yeah, that was very explanatory. That was well explained, Dave. Well explained. Hey, Matt Ryan wants to see if you can post what you catch tomorrow at Catalina so they can all carry along. He'll take care of that for you, Matt Ryan.
We're going to take as many photos as we can. We'll try to get those up there as soon as we can as well. Let you know where we're at and what bait we're using and all the good secrets.
And then as we move forward here, it's coming into the fall season. And gang, we're going to be kicking off a seminar at the Bass Pro Shops. It's inked now. It's written down. Justin and I are coming from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on September 14th. That's a Sunday at the Bass Pro Shops in Irvine. Yes, Captain Dave's flying up from Cabo. It's a big deal, gang. I don't normally come on a Sunday and do a seminar, so we're going to be there. It's going to be packed. I promise you that. We're going to be there. It's a Sunday. There's going to be plenty of giveaways. We're going to be supported by all of our sponsors. There's going to be lots of cool stuff going on. According to Jeff over there, we're going to be riding the coattails of what are you doing on Saturday, Dave Brown?
So the day before that, we're actually doing the CCA Star Tournament. You probably heard us all talking about it. You've heard Dave talking about it on the show here. But that's going to be the actual live event of actually giving away that Parker boat. We're going to give away all the other 10 grand prizes as well as some of those weekly prizes. Hopefully you can come attend. It's totally free to attend. There's going to be some raffles. Obviously, it's for CCA, so they'd love to raise some funds, which is always great. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be some food vendors there. The last time we did that Anglers Night Out with Benji Kim, we had some food trucks outside. They set it up nicely. The whole Bass Pro Irvine crew just really takes care of us there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys got in on that star tournament. You got about 3-4 days left to get in. It only takes one fish to win. Brian Drasba, the guy who won that thing last year, I think he had 2 total fish in his submissions and ended up winning a brand new Parker.
Yeah, we have 4 of our members have already won the weekly prizes, so we're
awesome.
We're way involved. We got a lot of cool stuff. We're all waiting for which one of our members is going to win the boat. We're very, very excited about it. We'll be watching it. Hopefully we can share it live on our channels. That would help out everything. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully they'll let us do that. And gang, right after that, the next day we're going to be there. They want to keep riding that train down the track. So Justin and I are going to come up there. We're going to do a kick off the fall fishing season. Plus, as we talked about on Monday, lobster season. Here it goes. It's hard to believe that it's not even a month away and we'll be hooping. We'll be hooping, and we're all going to be at the Bass Pro Shop. Promar will be there with tons of stuff. We'll have a handful of giveaway stuff, but Promar is going to be there with all the products that you need to make sure you're ready. And like we said, you want to make sure you order up as much product as you can now to make sure that you're not caught with your pants down. But gang, this summer hasn't even started yet. Dave Brown and I were talking about it. This was the coldest summer we've ever seen in Southern California. I think, and I had Andy Cates on the show yesterday. He feels the same way. We're just about starting our summer right now. It's going to be a late summer, and fishing's going to be insane. So that's why not only are we talking lobster, but Okuma is going to be well represented at this kicking off the fall fishing season. I call it kicking off the summer because we haven't had summer yet in Southern California. I think you guys got an opportunity to catch yellowfin, dorado, yellowtail, kelp patty fish, all the stuff that has been missing because it hasn't had a summer yet. The water's in some spots, Brown, it's up to 71, 72 degrees. If the wind would just stop blowing in SoCal, we'd be in store for one hell of a season. So make sure you make it out there on the first day, Saturday, to see who's going to win the boat, which is going to be one of our members. We already know that. And then the next day, you get to see me and Justin hang out with us and see all the great products that we're going to have. We'll have some cool products from Okuma there to show you also. And then you can simply just go and purchase any of these great products from Bass Pro Shop because they have all the things that you need to be successful when you go fishing. I'm super excited to be there. It'll be my first time at the Irvine store. I haven't even been there since it opened. So
it's a nice store. It feels it's one level, so it's not like the Rancho store that's gigantic and 2 stories, but it's single level, but it's wide, it's long, it's deep. Lots of kayaks, lots of our Southern California stuff there. And the cool part about their particular staff is they're very dialed in on the local fishery as well. So if you have questions there, they'll get you pointed in the right direction, hopefully towards Okuma, but they'll get you pointed in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be fun. But we got a really cool spinning reel that is kind of brand new to this whole Southern California offshore, inshore fishing. We've been talking about it for a week now on our show, Dave. Talk about what's the unique things about this. Then we'll show you guys a cool video and try to get your questions in before we run out of time here. We got a half hour left.
So yeah, certainly. I was watching a couple questions come by. Someone asked
if I ever saw one of those questions.
Someone asked if I ever saw one of those rail rods blow up, and I actually have seen, not ours, but I have seen rail rods blow up. And what's going to happen there a lot is it's meant to stay fairly parallel to the water. Let that rod tip do the work. What I'll see when I've seen them blow up is the angler will really sit down on it. So you have the butt section going back and the tip, and now you've got well more than a 90-degree angle in that thing, and that's when you'll usually see those rods parked. And it's not pretty on a gigantic, thick XXX or quadruple X heavy rod. It's loud and it's scary, but I have seen them. It happens, and that's most of the time. I'd say it's user error on these rods nowadays. All competitors, they're all built really well. And then I saw Jeff was asking about what spinning reel for bass. Perfect timing, Jeff. Look at that. That is the brand new Sapphire spinning reel by Okuma. This is the one we've been talking about. Dave's been talking about it here as well. This is a reel that we just introduced at ICAST in Orlando a month or so ago. This is going to be exactly what you're looking for. Retail on these, you're at $84 to $99.99 on the large size. They started in a size 1,000, which is going to be your real compact. Maybe you're an ice fisherman, you're traveling, you're going to do that thing, all the way up to a compact 5,000 size. So that's going to be a 5,000 size reel with a compact spool. You're looking at 8 total ball bearings. It's actually, what's great about us first locally here, aluminum spool, aluminum wind-in handle. So it's not like something you have to take the other side, pop it out, fold. It's actually a screw-in handle. And you'll see the video with John talking about it here in just a second. But this is actually a sealed reel. So it's not completely waterproof, but it's actually sealed. It's got our hydro gasket water sealing system. It gives it about an IPX3. So if you're a surf fisherman, maybe you're fishing with Benji, you're fishing all the local stuff here. I happen to be a pretty diehard kayak fisherman, fishing, like a hookup bait or something like that. Whatever you're going to fish your spinning application. In a kayak, this thing is sitting on a rod, and it's only going to be a couple of inches off the water. You're getting water, it's getting splashed. Having that little bit of extra seal is going to keep you running and keep you on the water for quite a bit of time. This particular one, this is the 3,000 size. I don't know if you can get an idea. That's how small that 3,000 size is there, just in the palm of my hand. But Sapphire, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell there, but it's got a really cool blue accent. It's a carbon bodied reel, carbon rotor, aluminum spool, aluminum handle, 8 total ball bearings. It's got all of those seals, carbon drag washers in the top there, which are also have the seal around it. You can put up to about 24 pounds of drag. So if you're a spotty fisherman like myself, and you want to go pitch some docks, great little reel to take a look at. Maybe you're heading to the local lake where you want to do some drop shotting or anything else. Great reel to look at. Try that 2,000 or 2,500 size. But this is the new one. This is a hot little reel. They're in stock now. I don't know who has them here in Southern California, but check your local retailer. Ask for it by name, Sapphire. If you can't find it there, take a look online. You can find them online on the Okuma website as well. But cool little reels.
Yeah, and I saw a question. We don't know. Dave Brown and I have no idea what you're talking about. A bait runner. We don't even know what the hell that is. But as far as a bait feeder goes, this reel does not equip with the bait feeder series, but there is plenty of reels in the SKU that have the bait feeder, which, I'm a huge, I love the bait feeder. It's an incredible usage, especially for new people, Dave. When you're taking a bunch of friends out in the Avenger series reel, oh my God, those things are just insane. But this reel right here, gang, like we keep talking about, the thing I think is really cool that I never understood, and I had to ask John a few years ago, it doesn't have the back wind. You don't have that switch. How many times have you set the hook, Dave, and the thing starts back winding on you? You're like, why is it doing that?
This one actually does. So the Sapphire does have it. Yeah, exactly. The
sorry.
Inspira and the new Rockaway surf reel do not have that.
The Rockaway doesn't. Yeah. That's right.
And the reason this one still has it is there's still a freshwater component to this particular reel, and there are still several anglers that like to backspin when they're catching those big bass. They'll button their drag down completely, and they'll completely back wind. Makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's what they do.
I apologize. I watched that Rockaway.
Yeah. It's a good reel.
I have on here a few minutes ago, and I'm like.
And just real quick on the bait feeder function, this one does not have it, but for those of you folks that are wondering what a bait feeder, even the bait runner from the competitors is it's a whole secondary drag system that'll be right here in the back. And what that does is when you flip that on, your bait in gear like this will completely just about come out free. The fish have no idea. You can actually run live bait, which is kind of what they were designed for. But what's been real unique on the Okuma side is we make a bait feeder that's all the way down to the 500 size in the Samar and in the Avenger. And if maybe you're a doe fisherman, like a power bait kind of trout fisherman, or you want to fish catfish or anything else, it doesn't get used for that a lot, but it's perfect for that style fishing. Maybe you're running up to Big Bear with the kids, you want to throw some power bait on, get that rainbow glitter going. But what you do is you put that 2-pound test out there, you pop open that bait feeder, and when the trout take that bait, they feel zero resistance. And all you have to do is turn that handle, and now you're back into your full drag setting. And really cool for freshwater, but it's ultimately designed for saltwater. I know Dave's been fishing those Coronados for years. We've had several bait feeders up and down the lineup as long as I've been here. But for if you happen to be a live bait fisherman, maybe you're fishing some big horse sardines or some mackerel, even anchovy when they're around. When you're fishing that smaller Coronado, like that 40 or that 55 or the 60 size, when you pop that open, that bait's just going to freely run. You don't have to have your bail open where you got big loops coming off. You just pop it open, that bait's going to just freely run away from your line. And when it gets bit, it'll start peeling out. All you do is you turn that handle and you're back in your full drag setting. Maybe you're at 20, 25, 30 pounds of drag. They're really cool. If you get a chance, take a look at one. If you're a spin fisherman and you're looking for something like that, they're pretty cool.
Oh yeah, absolute phenomenal product. And I apologize for saying it didn't have the back one.
No worries. No worries.
Like a full potato head, but you got so many products. It's hard to keep track of everything. It's just, for me especially, remember the 70s were rough on me. So
yeah, exactly.
Bear with me, folks. Here, check this reel out. John's going to show you a little bit more about it, and then we're going back to your questions. So don't miss out on leaving us a question here.
Hey guys, this is John Bretzel with Okuma Fishing Tackle with an awesome new introduction for 2026. This is a sapphire line of spinning reels that we consider a crossover reel that be used for both freshwater as well as inshore applications. This reel is going to come in 9 different models. We're going to offer both standard and high-speed gear ratios. And a lot of that comes from the HDG Plus gearing platform. Because we have the big oversized diameter gears, we can now offer high-speed gears that's going to hold up to that bull red if you hook into a trophy fish. As far as the high-speed gear ratios go, we'll offer 2,500, 3,000, and 4,000 size high-speed gear ratios. All the rest will be standard gear ratios. We're going to have this series from a 1,000 up to a 5,000 to cover all kinds of different fishing styles. Now for inshore fishing, what we've done is we've equipped this reel with our Hydro Block 2 body. So that's going to protect the internal components to make sure you don't get water intrusion. It's going to be a great splash guard. It's not going to be waterproof, but it's going to be great for all-day fishing applications. It features 7 high-performance corrosion-resistant bearings, plus a one-way roller bearing that's going to give you that quick set and reverse function. Now what we did is that we made this reel braid ready, and we've done 2 different things. We made a braid ready spool that has a rubber spool band on the arbor to make sure your line doesn't slip. And the other thing that we've done is on the tapered bail transitions right into the line roller. That line roller features our DLC or diamond light coating system. And so that's going to be very hard to make sure you don't get corrosion, but it's also perfect for braided line applications. A couple other things that we've done with this reel, because we wanted to make a reel optimized for inshore as well as freshwater, is that it's equipped with the carbonite drag system. So if you over tighten that drag, you're not going to get memory. It's going to have great performance. We've also equipped this reel with flight drive to make it extremely smooth and durable, as well as our GSS, our gear stabilizing system, to make sure you have precision alignment in all situations. If you want to find out more information on this new awesome Sapphire reel series, check it out at a dealer near you or on OkumaFishingUSA.com.
Yeah, there you go. See Darren's question, why this was planned?
I did, about the handle.
Yeah.
I don't know on the Citrix exactly, but it's pretty darn close to the same platform as the Komodo. So one of those should fit for you. I would do the same thing as that earlier answer, which was give the guys at Okuma a call directly at 1-800-GO-OKUMA, or shoot the service team an email at customercare@okumafishingusa.com. One of them will get immediately back to you, and they'll be able to get you filled out on that. We do offer the power handle design as well as the regular twin style handle. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for.
Yep. And if you guys, anybody else has a question, feel free. And I want to show you the video I was talking that I thought we were going to talk about. Just check this Rockaway reel out real quick, and then you'll go, oh, now I understand, because I don't want to seem like I'm totally uneducated.
Hey guys, this is John Bretzel with Okuma Fishing Tackle. I have a very exciting new product for you for 2026. This is a new Rockaway SI. This reel is purpose built for inshore anglers. It's also a great reel for any anglers that own, say, a Rockaway SP and they're doing that light surf fishing. Perfect for the West Coast or anywhere down along the Gulf in the Southeast. This reel is going to come in 4 different models. We're going to do a 2,500, a 3,000, a 4,000, as well as a C5000 body. So all perfect for those applications I just mentioned. The body and side plates are injected out of C40X, so you don't have to worry about corrosion. It's a great reel, very maintenance free, The other key element to this body is it doesn't have the on-off anti-reverse selector. So at the bottom of the reel, that's one less area for water to intrude into the body. We also equip this reel with our Hydro Block 2 body system, and so what that does is it's gonna have rubber seals to prevent water from getting into the reel. This will not be a waterproof reel, but it's a great splash guard for normal fishing situations. This is gonna be a reel that's gonna really optimize your overall experience on the water. Now the drag system is gonna be carbonite. So if you got the two smaller sizes, you're gonna have 18 pounds of maximum drag. If you go up to the 4,000, 5,000, you'll get 24 pounds of max drag. Great stopping power, say you hook a big bull red or a big giant snook. It's gonna be supported by 5 high performance bearings, as well as our quick set anti-reverse roller bearing. In addition to that, these are gonna be full grease pack bearings with rubber seals to make sure there's no water intrusion, to make sure those ball bearings last as long as possible. As far as a platform internally goes, this features our HDG Plus gearing. What that is a larger diameter drive gear, and so it allows us to build a reel that has high speed gear ratios that are gonna be extremely durable and not gonna break down on big giant fish. So if you look at the 2,500, 3,000 size, it'll have a 6-to-1 gear ratio. When you get to the 4,000, 5,000, it'll come with a 6.2-to-1 gear ratio. Now, as far as technology and smoothness goes, what we've done is we've equipped this reel with our flight drive system. So when you turn that handle, this reel is going to be extremely smooth and durable when you're casting lures all day in and out. The other thing that we featured in this reel is our GSS, or gear stabilizing system. What that is a supportive ball bearing on the top and bottom of the pinion gear, where a lot of spinning reels only have one ball bearing. This is going to have 2 to make sure it's got proper precision alignment, so that this reel lasts a really long time when you're fishing on inshore environments. If you want to find out more information on the new Rockaway SI, check it out at a retailer near you or on OkumaFishingUSA.com.
And I told you guys I'd put the QR code up on the screen. There it is. Dave Brown showing that reel. And you can get over there and look at all these products. And normally, the amount of products we showed just in these few videos, Dave, that would be good for most companies. That doesn't even scratch the surface.
All we talked about is 3 product introductions out of about the 20 that we did at ICAST this year. We're a company that's got to be something to everybody, right? So it's new walleye gear, it's new Pacific Northwest salmon trolling gear, new rods, Northeast, deep dropping cod rods. I mean, we've got a little bit of everything for everybody, and it's fun.
The thing I learned at ICAST was Okuma touches so many different aspects of the fishing thing, from the ice fishing to the stream fishing to the fly rods to look at the fly reel that won the award. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, we won a best new fly reel for 2025 with the new Integrity. It's awesome.
It is. It's incredible. There's just so much fun stuff coming up, and then we're coming in 2026. There's going to be a bunch of new products at the show next year. It's just crazy how you guys just keep on keeping on and keep doing it. And I'm very proud to have been a part of this for the time that I have. And gang, when you go out on any of our charter boat, you go out with Justin, or you go out with Pablo, or you go out with Al, you're overwhelmed by the amount of Okuma products they have. And listen, these guys were buying this product before they became part of Your Saltwater Guide. Captain Al, he could sell the Okuma products he had and buy another house. He's got so many Okuma products. And it was just cool to get these guys involved and go, hey, we don't even really have to change out much. We had changed out with Justin a little bit, change out a little with Pablo, but Al already had all the stuff. This stuff that stands the test of time. And Dave Brown, Todd Manser, there's not a lot of phenomenal marlin tournament fishermen like Todd. There's just a small handful, and Todd's been using your guys' product, and him and John Bretta pretty much designed that McCarty series reel from the bottom up, which was pretty fun to watch.
That was fun to watch, and that was that was a neat evolution of those reels. For those of you that go back far, it was the Titus and Titus Gold were the reels that we had previously. Titus Gold, the early ones, they were rough, a lot of issues with those early reels. Getting later, as they worked out the kinks in those products, they turned into really nice reels, and they were great. But we knew that we had to take the next step if we wanted to be the player in the California market, which is where we all live. I live in Orange County. I'm born and raised in Long Beach. You know, I know this water well. I used to work on the Annie B barge out of Long Beach out there as a little pinhead and deckhand filleting tomcod. Anyhow, we knew we had to take that next step and make it correct. It was something where John got with Todd, got with Dave, got with the people that the questions were, what do we need to do? We used to work with some of the big sport boats, and it was like, what needs to be done correctly? So John got with Cal Sheets. They worked that out. At the time, we were making the Tiburon automatic shifting 2-speed reels. So he worked with Rich and the guys over at Tiburon, and it was the thrust bearing. That was the big piece that those guys used, that oversized thrust bearing. So we brought that into the McCarty, the Cal Sheets improvements on it at the time. We wanted to make the reel that was going to be the reel you want directly out of the box. We talked to Cal and the guys, and we said, what are guys buying these competitor reels, bringing them in? What do they want to get done? What do they want to get done? What are they asking for when they hand you their reel? And that's what we did to the McCarty. We put in the oversized gearing. We got the helical cut gearing, which is pretty amazing on those things. The pull bar drag system, the oversized thrust bearings, the really light pull at full drag. I mean, they're just built like tanks right out of the box, and that's what we've been looking for. Those reels are coming up on like year 14 already, 13 or 14. It's amazing. Time goes so darn quick. And as Jeff mentioned, that world record 442-pound yellowfin, that was on a McCarty 20 size, not a 50 or an 80, on a 20.
Crazy. The thing about the McCarty series too, that Cal Sheets used to say, is that when they used to bring the old, not Okuma reels, but the other reels, everybody wanted that free spool that you couldn't get.
Yeah.
And the McCarty, oh my gosh, the free spool on there is so smooth and it's so free. It's just free.
At the time we were building those, I think we were still kind of in like an anchovy time as well. So it was light baits. It was getting out, practicing with that clothespin on how to overhand cast those little light baits out in the backyard. And that's what it was about. We wanted that real light spool and just build it right. And I think we accomplished it.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Positively. That QR code's still up on the screen, gang. I see a couple of people have already downloaded it. We'll leave it up there, gang, and then you go back and look. I know a lot of you watch on your phones at work and stuff. Just go back and look later, and you can hit the QR code. Takes you right to the website. And you'll see all these reels we talked about today. And then do us, Dave Brown and I, a huge favor and hit the like button and the share button here on whatever platform you're watching us on. I mean, I got it right now on TikTok. We've had over 11,000 likes. I'm watching it right in front of me right now, which is a mind-boggling number. And I think it has a lot to do with Dave being with us today and all the information, because a lot of the people, they love the humor and all that, Dave, but they want info. They want to get info. And that's the key to our podcast. We're giving out some phenomenal info. There we go. I have a surf reel. It's awesome. What do you think, Dave?
Let's see here. I have a flight surf reel. It's an awesome reel for the surf. However, for a large reel, it should really have a larger handle knob, the Avenger or Coronado. So a couple thoughts on that. A couple schools of thought on that. On those big surf reels, when you go with the really large handles and they're built for large, heavy casting, is that when you have that much weight on that handle, it will actually flip over. That's when you're going to get a lot of that line snapping. So on some of those big, like the Flight Surf, the Surf 8K, they're going to go with a little bit smaller handle, and it's strictly for that reason, is you don't want that bail to flip over. You don't want anything to snap. A lot of times you got some heavy gear, your terminal tackle can add up nowadays, especially your lead and everything else, but you don't want that to flip over. So there was a question about the Citrix reel. So I reached out when we were on that last video to Bobby Peck, who's our customer service manager. He is looking with the team right now, and hopefully I'll get back with that answer before this show is done. But anyway, so for the handle, that's exactly why on those larger reels.
A lot of times, like you were saying too, when you go back to cast and you go to wing it, and if that handle's hanging down,